Where is that bloody light switch? Ah, there it is. Ugh, this place is filthy. I swore I hired that damn gorilla in a top hat to clean this place while I was gone. Ugh, it smells like bananas and sadness in here. Oh well, I guess it's time to make my return. It's been a while, hasn't it? And I know just the thing to make my return with.
Alright, what up guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel, and welcome to Morning Coffee Thoughts, where I give my thoughts over morning coffee. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring that notification bell.
Oh, right, I remember now. The whole YouTube thing. Well, you heard the lady. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Need to wake up the damned algorithm again.
Let's get started. So, today I was thinking about how traditional men are really punished in this dating market.
Yes, let's get started. Before we go too far, this is Pearl Davis, and she is a spokeswoman for the growing Redpill movement. Here, let me pull up a video. Where did I put that? Ah! That was the wrong button. I wasn't supposed to turn my camera on. Well, shit. Might as well stay like this then. This is Pearl Davis, also known as Just Pearly Things on Twitter or X or whatever it's called, and YouTube. She is part of the new Redpill movement. If you want to know what that is, just think about the most extreme version of feminism and reverse the perspectives on it. In essence, it is MGTOW. Well, okay, not MGTOW. More like MGTOW plus.
Now, let me explain, okay? I don't have my whiteboard with me, so I'm just gonna use the objects next to me to describe the dating market. So,
Wait. You are a channel of how many subscribers? 1.8 million? And you couldn't even bring your whiteboard? Oh, come on, Pearl. You are supposed to wow us here.
there's really like three guys in the dating market, three archetypes. So there's one, we're going to go and make them the cell phone because that's the most valuable thing I'm going to use today. So the cell phone guys are the top guys. These are going to represent the men. These guys really don't have to do much to get laid. Like first date, most women are giving it to them. Second date, right? They don't even really have to take chicks on dates. And these are the men that are going to have a really hard time settling down because they've seen the worst side of female nature. They've seen the good girls come on to them. They've seen they're the guys that have screwed a lot of your wives. Sorry, guys, unless you married a virgin, that's these men.
Alright, I get the concept. The cell phone guys are the high-value men. They are the alpha chads. The men that just look at a woman and suddenly her panties just fly off.
嘘まさか
The second group of men, do I want to make them the Vaseline or the water? I'm going to make them this because are the water bottle. So these guys are the husbands, okay? So the husbands are the guys that have to court the women. They really have to do a lot in order to get married. Like they do have sex, they do get to smash, but they typically have to either be friends with the girl first. They have to do something. Where these guys, they just get it.
Okay, that's a bit of a downgrade. From cell phone to water bottle. Maybe there's some deeper meaning here. Like water sustains you, so the water bottle represents the men out there that make women's life easier. Oh, I know. The bottle is a containment device used to represent the chains he is now locked in because he chose to marry an evil female.
Sweetie, it's a workstation.
Got it.
And you come in here dressed like a hobo. It's distracting.
I know you're working. I'm so sorry.
Come on. Seriously. Come on, what? Who is that? It's the old ball and chain.
Now, and then there's these guys. Now, these are the guys that are getting no play. They'll maybe get laid like once a year if the chick is drunk, but I mean, in general, these guys are just the sexless ones. But we're not really going to talk about that.
Now, the Vaseline guys are the bottom of the barrel men. But you won't talk about them, will you, Pearl? You can't talk about them. Because the Vaseline men are the incels that you are pandering to. The ones filled with all that Redpill rage that you want to keep them hopped up on. You chose the right item for your representation of your fanbase, Pearl. Lord knows they go through enough of it.
Hey, I'm in the bathroom at Chick-fil-A. And look at what they have. That's what every guy needs, some Vaseline.
So, typically what I see is when tradcons get married, they're these guys. So, they'll always say the sexless men don't exist because, or like say, these guys are just not working hard enough or doing enough in order to get the sex. Because they've always been in the category that they do get sex, they just have to wait. They also feel like there are good women. You just have to find a good woman. However, these guys are like, no. No. Your good woman was banging me in the cabana in Mexico. Your good woman, like, again, these guys have seen the most because they get the most. They're like top 10, 20%. Then the next like 30% of men. And typically, what I see is these guys think they found a good woman and they operate on traditional standards. So what's going to be my lady in this analogy? My AirPods. These will be the women, okay? So they'll find this, what they think is a unicorn, right? And they court her, right? And boom, she's not sleeping with him. And he thinks, wow, therefore this is a good woman. This is what happened to Logan Paul. This is Nina Agdal. And she's like, Logan, we gotta wait. I'm not gonna do it. Cause And, historically that would be true, but we're in a modern era. And remember, she's poisoned. This culture is poisonous to us women.
There's a lot to unpack there, and I don't have the hours of time that I would need to do that. But we'll start simple. She brought up Logan Paul and Nina Agdal for one simple reason. To call women whores. You see, Nina was a very naughty girl before her and Logan got together.
By the way, I'm very proud of myself. This is the longest I've ever gone without sex since I started. Obviously, it's driving me crazy. I am struggling. I need penis inside of me. ASAP. Like, all I want is like a big fat sausage just destroying my body. So, if any of you guys know a good dick that doesn't have STDs on it, I'll take it. Right here.
Like I said, very naughty. But Pearl here called her a unicorn. Now, what that means in certain circles is this. A term referring to the mythical creature, a magical horse with a horn, which is extremely rare in most fictional worlds. Modern use refers to a sexual/life partner that is so extraordinary that they are considered very rare. Within the swinging community, it refers to a single woman who is looking for a couple seeking a polyamorous relationship. This is also typically very, very rare. Or a unicorn. Or, in the case of what Pearl is referring to, it is this second description. A partner that has so many favorable traits. It's amazing you could find them, and they have not already been taken. As hard to find as a real unicorn. What Pearl here means is that Nina is such a unicorn that she is willing to give up her whorish ways to be with Logan and be faithful to him and become his faithful and subordinate wife. Now, Pearl didn't say anything about subordination, I know, but she believes that women should be virgins until marriage, regardless if the man isn't. She should be molded by him and taught how to run his household by him and do and act exactly as the husband says. Don't believe me? Just scroll her Twitter for a few minutes. You'll see exactly how she views women.
Because again, we have been given a crazy amount of attention from the time we're like 13, 14 years old. We're, it doesn't matter if we go to the church, the media, or school, whatever it is, we can do no wrong because we're women. We're always in the right. And so we've gone our whole lives never being told the truth about what's annoying, what's not annoying, being told we're more amazing than we are, and really being overloaded on attention.
See? I didn't even have to show you her tweets. Pearl just flat out told you how she views women.
Okay, so this is the average chick. Yeah, so she's really not sleeping with him because she's banging her ex-boyfriend. Yup, they're sorry, this is okay. But they're banging, right? And that's why this guy is duped. Because he's like, oh.
That's right, men. All of you Vaseline men out there. All you water bottle men. You are nothing to these women. They just want to get their hooks in you so they have security. They don't actually like you or even love you. You are just something for them to fall back on while they are banging their ex-Chad boyfriends. Every single one. Now, is this true? Of course not. There are horrible women out there, sure. They lie, they cheat, they see men as objects to be used, get into marriages specifically for money or a home, or to hide that they were cheating and ended up pregnant. We've all heard the stories like that. But let me ask you all, because I know Pearl couldn't actually answer a simple question to save her life, haven't we all heard the same stories about men? Pearl herself thinks it's perfectly fine for men to cheat on women. In fact, she believes it should be expected.
If I was super in love and I had children with a man and I was really, really in love with him and he was a good man overall, I think I would be lying if I'd say that I couldn't get over it. Now, does that mean I'd condone it? No. Does that mean I would be happy? Oh, sir, I would not be. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But I think that men give us a lot of grace for a lot of things. I mean, we're certainly not perfect, and we're certainly more modern than we've ever been. So I think that maybe we should try to give men grace. I think that's part of relationships, that's part of life.
She isn't against the idea. It's not a deal breaker for her. You should give men grace. Now, she won't give the same grace to women. Of course not. Because all women are whores if you sleep with more than one man.
And so we're in a modern era where typically the woman, if she really likes this guy, will sleep with him quicker. Because, and I'm talking in general, guys. There are exceptions to every rule, but in general, right? Because the average chick has all these suitors. So, maybe she's not sleeping with other men, but she's getting attention from somewhere. She's getting boyfriend level attention. Okay, does that make sense? Are we with this? So that's why traditional men are punished, because they think they're doing traditional rules. And that's why Myron will say things like, if she doesn't sleep with you on the first date, get rid of her. Because at some point in her life, she has likely slept with this guy, especially over a certain age, especially knowing women's true nature, which is to never be happy and just go for higher and higher and higher. At some point, she's probably shot out of her league.
That's right, all of you incels out there, all you water bottle men. Your woman has been dicked down by an alpha chad, the cell phone male types. She is so obsessed with them that she can't help herself. The average woman is just powerless to the cell phone male. So powerless that, well, she broke up with him and now moved on to someone else. But according to Pearl, that won't matter because you women will never be happy. You are not programmed to be happy. You always want to move forward. You want to bigger, better deal your significant others regardless of how they treat you. After you've had the alpha, you are nothing more than a wandering traveler with 3 open holes that need filling.
Now, is this every woman? No. Are there exceptions? Yes. But the odds that you have the exceptional woman are just slim.
You aren't talking about the average woman, Pearl. Yes, there is always an exception to the rule. What you are actually saying is that the exceptional cases, the ones that really stand out, are the cases where women are faithful to their men. You are saying that the average woman is a lying, cheating harlot. My question is, do you actually know what you said? Or was this something that you just let spill out of your face hole?
And it's funny because a lot of the guys that kind of push this tradcon lifestyle, a lot of them met their wife and didn't know her when she was younger, so they don't really know. Or a lot of them kind of grew up in a different time before social media. Because remember, social media has poisoned the women. We are all poisoned. We are all ruined. Because we're used to, we either have male friends, we have whatever.
Pearl Davies, please listen to me. You are supposed to screw up when you are young. You are supposed to make mistakes. The tradcon men that you're talking about, they don't care. For those of you who don't know, tradcon means traditional conservative. So think church-going, leave-it-to-beaver type men. They want to be the head of the household. They want to provide for their family. A woman should be a stay-at-home mom or a housewife to take care of the daily household needs while he is out earning the money for their family. What Pearl thinks it means is Orthodox, Christian, or Catholic. I'd even go so far as saying Sharia. But that's just me. You must be a virgin before marriage. You must submit to your husband, and you are nothing more than a male's property. That's what she means when she says tradcon. Honestly, these men are nothing like that. They don't care about their wives' younger past. And for you, Pearl, to assume that the conversations never came up goes to show more about how you really view relationships than anything else. And also explains why you can't even get close to living by your own standards.
So that's why a lot of times, not always, right? Exceptions. A lot of times traditional men are punished. And if she doesn't, and if you play by traditional rules, you likely will lose the girl. Because women, we want to feel like we've earned you and we had to work for you. I don't know why we're like this. As a man, it logically doesn't make sense. But we want to feel like we got the best guy we could get. And when, when there's 2 guys in front of us, right? Stop, snitching there. There's 2 guys in front of us, and this guy is making us work for his commitment, and this guy is giving it away for free. We assume this guy is less valuable because it's like, why are you so willing to just give that away? Which is why typically I really don't, in the Red Pill, they say don't really ask her to be your girlfriend. Or if you do, if she hesitates at all, it's like, next.
This is a pickup artist tactic. You are supposed to make the woman feel like she has to earn your attention. And it does work, with a surprising amount of accuracy. But the women it works on are women with low self-esteem and young women who don't have a good handle on who they are as a person and what they want in life. You see, the woman who knows what they want in life can see right through cell phone Chad in his games. When a woman sees through this type of tactic, the alpha Chad really has no idea how to react, so he lashes out.
Bodybuilders?
Bodybuilders?
Yeah.
I like skinny, scrawny guys.
How about multimillionaires? How about 8 inches and thick? How about talented? How about loving and respectful? Like 10 weeks ago, 21 years faithful.
As for the man offering the commitment, that's perfectly fine. If the woman isn't looking for that, she'll say so. If she is, this doesn't mean she wants to be strung along and forced to work for it. Pearl, you believing this means that you've had to do this in your own dating life, and it's all you've known. Believe it or not, that makes me extremely sad for you. But it also explains a hell of a lot more about you than you want it to.
Because women really want to feel like we've earned that title. And odds are, in the past, this guy or some other guy has made her work for it. And that's why traditional men are oftentimes punished. So what can the guys really do? They can go younger, right? So they can go date like a 20-year-old. But now, you know, women are racking up bodies from the time they're 14. So, you know, 15, like, this is a modern era. And unfortunately, so...
Racking up bodies since they were 14? Pearl, are you serious? Is that honestly what you believe? That young girls all over the country are just giving it away at 14 years old? Again, this is another version of Pearl's law of averages. Fresh and fit and Rollo Tomassi, 3 figures that are very large in the red pill spaces, are the people feeding Pearl this information. According to polls run on 3 different websites, the actual average age of a young woman losing her virginity is 17. The sites that I have linked down below are the sources, and they are Teen Vogue, 17 Magazine, and the World Population Review. That's right, 2 pop figure magazines and an actual population review. The scientific study that they did is actually in that last one. All of them state that the average young woman loses her virginity at the age of 17, while young men aren't that far behind, on average, at the age of 17 and 3 months. The exception to the rule proves the bloody rule, Pearl. What, do you believe that 14-year-olds are going out to college parties and just having trains run on them?
The only way guys really are like, okay, what solution do I have? I have to just date around as much as I can. And the woman that really wants to be with me will work to be with me and show me. And the other problem is, you know, men, you know, let's just say, let me find another thing to represent a lady, okay? All right, we got these 2 women, right? These 2 ladies. Obviously, you picked this one because she's thinner, right? I'm just kidding. Now, you might think the more pure one is going to win, right? But what the men are really saying to look for is the woman that has a genuine desire for you. Now, what does that mean? That means the woman, like when a woman really wants to be with you, it doesn't matter. She's going to give it all up. So girl A might be more quote unquote wife material, but she's not going to give up her religion. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying like the point is that she would, right? Girl A might be more wife material, but she's not willing to give up her religion. You want the girl that's going to actually listen to you and trust you and wants to be with you. And that's why you kind of have to make girls work for your commitment as opposed to dating traditionally, because the only way the guy can see who genuinely wants to be with you, which is who puts in the work.
Believe it or not, I can honestly agree with Pearl here. If a woman wants to be with you, if she is dedicated to you, it really doesn't matter. She will be devoted to you because of you. This is how you get happy relationships and marriages. Both people are attracted to each other and want to be with each other and are devoted to that relationship. I don't know where Pearl was going with the chapstick girl compared to the AirPods girl example, though. It seems that her brain cells are dying, much like everyone else's who hears her speak for more than a minute at a time.
And ladies, we all know when we really like a guy, we'll put in the work. And that's why you have all these chicks that say, I did so much for him. I gave him my everything, because she was chasing this guy and doing everything. And then she's like, well, I'm not going to do anything for the next guy. Well, this guy was your husband in a different life.
Pearl is saying something profound here, but I don't think she knows it. It seems her last two brain cells are competing for third place at the moment. A woman who went after the cell phone Chad and devoted herself to him and did everything for him, only to be pushed to the wayside, will lash out at the next man. She won't be as trusting. She won't be as devoted. She won't be as loving. That is the truth about heartbreak, though. That is also why there's the term the rebound guy. The rebound isn't supposed to be serious. It's supposed to be passionate, highly sexual, and highly volatile. That's not saying that rebounds can't become solid foundations, but those are the exception, not the rule. See? Unlike Pearl, I use that phrase correctly.
But a woman will always pick the king over the peasant. And unfortunately, now we have access to the kings, when in history, our dads would keep us away from the kings. Society would keep us away from the kings. And the kings would look at his kingdom and be like, okay, I can only have like 20 concubines. I won't have 300. But really, it's like, how many... You hear all these guys in the manosphere say they've slept with 100, 200, 300 women. So these are wives, right? Future wives.
Yes, of course. All of the men in the manosphere that are trying to impress all the other men in the manosphere. You should definitely believe that cell phone stud 698123 has slept with 300 women. I mean, why would he lie? He only has an image to uphold, a YouTube channel that relies on him duping others into believing things like this, and he couldn't possibly be lying or embellishing to try and have some form of sway with the other thirsty, desperate, lonely, angry incels that fill up the manosphere, could he? No. No, definitely not.
So just right there, that's just like a short-term concubine. At least in the past, the concubines got like I think they got like a community or something. I could be wrong, but...
Yes, you are exceedingly wrong.
Now it's just like a 10-minute concubine or 2-month concubine, and then boom, gone. So that's why dating traditionally as a guy, that's why the manosphere guys will say, if she doesn't sleep with you right away, to get rid of her. And that's why they say there's not really traditional women left. Because again, most of the guys promoting the marriage and family stuff are this guys. They just don't know it. Sadly. I don't say this in a happy way. But, maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, Pearl. You are definitely wrong. On every level. You have zero understanding about actual people and relationships. You think the average woman is a slutty college girl in porn movies, and that men and women hardly, if ever, actually communicate with each other in a relationship. It's sad that you are one of the faces of this growing red pill movement, Pearl. It is sad that you have Rollo Tomasi's hand shoved so far up your ass that you could chew his nails without opening your mouth. It's also sad that your complete and utter garbage takes on a daily basis had come across my feed as often as it has. Pearl, I say this with the utmost respect for who you are and what you represent. I truly understand why people listen to you. You have a 6-figure bank account and a double-digit IQ. That's all I really have to say about Just Pearly Things and her thoughts on traditional dating relationships. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you want, you can find me on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, with the link down below. I don't really have anything to shill out since I thought I was done with YouTube. But apparently that isn't the case. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.